sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports News going live tonight. Just finished watching Texas 27, Vanderbilt 24. It was a very, very close game. Texas, man, they kept gift wrapping all kinds of plays for Vanderbilt. Hey, grandson, you want to get on there? Come on. Come a grandson over. His mom is celebrating her 29th birthday anniversary, so they came to hang out with Paw Paw for a little bit. Him and his little brother Mercy, and this is praise right here. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, Texas was gift wrapped in all kinds of points for Vanderbilt in this game. They gave them a short field on a tip ball that was intercepted by Vanderbilt's defense. And when I think it was a third down and 8, I think it was, Pavia ran it in for 18 yards out and ended up getting the score to give Vanderbilt an early 7-0 lead. But Texas came back. Quinn Ewers played really, really well. He went 27 for 37 for 200, I believe it was 85 yards and 3 touchdowns. Two picks that were tipped. They weren't like he threw some bad throws. It just the balls got tipped and got intercepted, and that gave points to Vanderbilt on both of those turnovers. Yeah, grandson. Yeah, you can play with that. Go ahead. And so anyway, I thought Texas's defense played really, really well, even though they gave up a couple of touchdowns that they probably shouldn't. We had to let Vanderbilt get 2 fourth-down plays on us. One where they scored, but the other one was a pass interference on Malik Muhammad, which, I mean, they were both hand fighting, but they called the pass interference on that fourth-down play against Malik Muhammad, which gave Vanderbilt another set of downs. Texas defense forced another fourth down on that same drive. But on fourth down, Pavia was able to find his wide receiver in the end zone. And he really threw it between, I think it was 3 different Texas defenders. I thought the ball should have got knocked down by one of them, but it got through, and they scored a touchdown. But Texas offensively, their offensive line just had way too many penalties, way too many breakdowns and mistakes. Vanderbilt was able to put a lot of pressure on Quinn Ewers at times in the game because they weren't picking up those inside blitz between the guard and the center. Running backs missed a couple of blitzes they needed to pick up, and it just really hurt Texas offensively at times. Because Texas, I thought, could have at least scored in the 40s in this game. They just was making too many boneheaded mistakes, holding calls, false starts, a lot coming down on third down, which forced them into harder situations. Hey, grandson. Yeah, yep, that's Ari. Yep, Ari and Yanni. Yep. So that made it really, really difficult for them to get out of it. But there were times though when Texas had 3rd, 7, 3rd and 8, and they were running the football and getting first downs and was getting like 15, 20 yards on those first downs because Vanderbilt probably wasn't expecting Texas to run the football at those times, but they did, and they were able to get some serious first downs that, I didn't think they would get running the football, but they surprised me and they got them. Defensively, I got to give kudos to Michael Taft, who the safety who had interception and forced a fumble. He would be my defensive MVP in this game. He played really, really well, especially playing back there with a first-time starter in Jelani McDonald, who also played well at the safety position. He ended up getting a tackle for loss. He made a lot of plays out there at that safety position for Texas. And it was good to see him in his first start as a young player playing as well as he did against a team as good as Vanderbilt. And he made a lot of plays. He was very physical, which is what we needed him to be. And he had a lot of good coverages as well. Also, Alfred Collins, man, listen, Alfred Collins has really filled some huge shoes that was left by Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat. He's played really, really good, especially the last three games. The Oklahoma game, the Georgia game, and this game against Vanderbilt. He has played really, really well. And that has helped Texas a lot um, these last few weeks to be able to have a defensive lineman who can be moved around on that defensive front and make havoc and create havoc and make plays for Texas. So I'm excited about what he's doing out there on the field. Um, Along with, I mean, Anthony Hill played really well. I think all of the linebackers played really well today. We had some moments where we gave up some things that we probably shouldn't have given up. Uh, when you look at the down and distance, we held Vanderbilt up under their third down conversion percentage, which was good. But like I said, when we gave up that pass interference on that fourth down, that hurt because they ended up getting a score off of that. Um, and I think we had another penalty. Vernon Broughton, unnecessary roughness, hit the quarterback up in the head and neck area. That continued to drive, and they end up scoring a touchdown on that one. It's just we got to really be able to get off the field on those situations. We can't have pass interferences, and we can't have um, personal foul penalties on the quarterback. So now Vernon Broughton has to sit out the first half of our next game against Florida, which we really need Vernon Broughton, but we have a lot of defensive tackles that can come and fill that void until he can play in the second half. Let's go back to the offense for Texas. I believe Trey Wisner ran the ball really well. Him and Jalen Blue. Um, please excuse my grandson. He's having a good time over there playing. So please excuse him if he's making a little bit too much noise. But anyway, Trey Wisner, I thought played really well, cut the ball out the backfield really well. He dropped the ball that he should have caught, and that possibly could have gave us another first down to continue our drive, but it went through his hands. Jalen Blue, I think, ran the ball really well. The opportunities that he got, and I believe that he cut the ball out the backfield well as well. I think that's going to be his way into the NFL, being a third down back with his speed and his ability to catch the football. I think that's going to be his route to the NFL as a third down back, catching the ball out of the backfield because he does that really, really well, and he has speed, and he can make guys miss in the open field, which we saw him do today in that game against Vanderbilt. A game that I really think Texas should have beat them 40-something to probably 10. I don't see how they got that 24 point. Well, yeah, I do because we had too many penalties. We had 10 penalties for over 100 yards, which you can't have that in games. We had too many holding penalties that stopped some of our drives and put us in bad situations. So if we clean that up after this bye week when we go and play Florida, well, when Florida comes to play us in DKR, we got to have those things cleaned up so that we can play the kind of game at the level that we need to be playing at this time of the season, going into our last four games of the season. So hopefully, Texas can regroup and make some things happen so that they can finish the season strong, only have that one loss, and be able to do some things. Say hi to the camera, grandson. All right, so that's all I had. I just wanted to jump on real quick and say that about the Texas Longhorns preview. We'll be back on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock doing a whole recap of all the games from today's action in college football. So we'll be on tomorrow morning doing that around 9 a.m. So hopefully you can tune in and check us out. And please leave a comment. Please share the video. Please subscribe. Ask your family and friends to subscribe so that we can continue this channel growing. So, when nothing else to be said, welcome.